1, 2, 3, funk it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're not new here, welcome back. If you haven't noticed my title already to this video, it is how I grew my natural hair without direct heat. I did use heat throughout the process, which I will get to shortly, but this video is mainly to show you my natural hair journey where I am now, because 2 years ago I posted my first video about natural hair, showing you my natural hair journey and basically telling you this is what I want to do. So it's 2 years later, we're here. My hair is straight after 2 years of being fully natural. So the first natural hair video I made was, I think, back in early 2020. If I'm not mistaken, it was early 2020, right before the pandemic hit, or right when the pandemic hit. That is when I made my first natural hair video, and I was really nervous because I did not know what to expect. I really didn't know that's something I wanted to do 100%. But I just knew that I wanted my hair to grow longer than what it usually would grow if I were just getting it straightened on the regular basis. So that is the reason why I made that first video. I will link that video here if you have not ever watched that video. If you joined a little bit later on, or if you are joining now, then go ahead and watch that video. That was my very first natural hair video, and it's kind of embarrassing because I did my own curly cuts. I think I cut a bang. It looks crazy, but I came a long way. We're here now. So 2 years later, we are here. Make sure you check that video out. And I'm very excited that I made that video. I'm happy I made that video because you got to see how far I've came since that first natural hair video. And I think that I've came so far, and I am so proud of myself for keeping on this journey. This isn't the end of the journey. I'm still going to be a natural hair girl, still going to make sure that I take care of my hair so I can have the healthiest hair possible. And I am just not going to use direct heat like I was using before I went fully natural. So what is natural? To a lot of people, being natural, especially when you speak to professionals, being natural means you don't have any color. It means that you don't have any weave. It is fully your hair. It can either mean you're straightening your hair. It can mean that you are an Afro natural. That is what being natural means in other people's terms. In my terms, being natural for me was embracing my Afro hair. So that is not me straightening my hair at all. That's direct heat. I did put a small slight box color in my hair the first time that I went fully natural. It's probably growing out now. It was like a dark brown. You can't even see it. You could never really see it. That to me is natural in my opinion, because I'm still rocking my natural hair in its natural state. And even though you add color to it here and there, highlights, what have you, then you are still having your own hair, you know, to your scalp, and it's not weave or anything like that. So to me, that is natural in my terms, and that was a part of my natural hair journey, was just me rocking my Afro texture. I went natural early 2020, and the reason why I wanted to go natural was because I wanted my hair to be longer than, I wanted it not to be longer, but to grow longer and healthier, fuller than it did before I went fully natural. So before I went fully natural, I was getting my hair straightened, silk pressed every 2 to 4 weeks. I didn't have wash days, and between that I would just go literally 2 to 4 weeks with my hair in a pressed state. And like I said, I didn't moisturize my hair. I really didn't do anything. So besides outside of the salon, I wasn't doing anything but really wrapping my hair and, you know, making sure it's protected when I went to sleep, and that's it. So the reason why I went natural was because I wanted to see how long my hair could grow outside of me going to the salon, and just me being able to take care of myself. And I also think that's another reason why I went natural too, is because I wanted to learn how to take care of my hair by myself in order to grow it longer, fuller, and healthier. I wanted to learn the technique. I wanted to try all of this out because it's beneficial for me and my future. So that is why I went fully natural, and I think I did a really good job. How did I go fully natural? Like what did I do to go fully natural? So the first thing I did in that first video that I linked back there, that first video was me going fully natural. So I think what I did, I probably just washed my hair. I don't remember if I cut it when it was wet or when it was dry. I really don't remember, but I did like cut all of the looser strands to have more of my tighter strands. And I didn't cut all of it, just some pieces of it. And I also cut me a bang because I wanted my hair to grow into a certain way. So I tried to shape my hair, right? So that is how I originally started. I do not recommend that unless you are professional, because you probably won't be satisfied with it. I was definitely not satisfied. I was horrified at what I did. Thank goodness I did not do a lot of it. I just did a little bit. The next step that I took after doing my own curly cuts, I went to see a professional because I was like, look, I don't even know what I just did or if this even is going to work out. I was visiting my sister in Atlanta, and before I got there, I researched some natural hair beauty salons where I can get a professional curly cut. So I visited this salon in Atlanta, and I got my curly cut, which is this picture here. So that was my first curly cut. To me, that was considered to be a big chop because that was the shortest my hair has probably ever been. So that right there was my first curly cut, and I honestly loved it. Like, I knew that this was the beginning of my journey for real, and I was able to kind of learn from there how to take care of my hair, how to make sure I keep my coils tight, and also from there, my wash and goes, I started to do more wash and goes, and my wash and goes, they would get tighter and tighter each and every wash and go because my hair would also get used to them. So these were my first few wash and goes, and I think that my hair, like my hair was like, I'm loving this because my hair was getting hydrated every week. I was washing my hair every week, conditioning, deep conditioning. So all of these I was researching, and I was learning from different natural hair gurus, learning from articles and blogs on how to take care of your natural hair and to have more healthier and fuller hair. I definitely was rocking wash and goes. Like, I'm gonna link all of my wash and go pictures here. I was definitely rocking wash and goes as much as I could, and especially during the warmer months, I was doing them like at least once a week. I don't think I've ever did it less than a week, but I was doing wash and goes at least once a week, and I got better at it, and my hair started to love it. It started to flourish, and my curls really started to coil. My hair started to coil a lot more. My texture started to change from like type 3 hair to more like type 4 hair because the transition, I started to transition type 3 to type 4 hair. And so type 4 hair, as we know it, is more coilier. If you don't know, then it is more coilier hair and more tighter texture. And so that is what my hair started to become like, especially when I would do the deep conditionings and the washing or shampooing every week. I will also do protein treatments. I would do that every 3 months. I still do that every 3 months. I was clarifying my hair with the Aztec clay mask. I will drop all of those links here so you can check them out. My hair was enjoying the journey, and I was too, until it became challenging. The challenges come with transitioning to being a fully Afro natural. It comes with the journey, because when you are transitioning, you are originally going from your hair being straight all of the time, which I was used to for years of my hair being straight. I got my first relaxer when I was like 13 or 14. So since 13 or 14, my hair was always straight. That was definitely a challenge for me, going from straight into Afro natural. And a lot of girls or a lot of naturals, they transition from either straight or they transition from going to wearing mostly weaves. Now they're rocking their natural, or some people might go to, you know, wearing natural here and there, but getting their hair straightened in between the two and then going fully natural. So it all depends on how people are transitioning. But for me, it was from straight to afro natural. So that was a challenge within itself, because I was used to looking a certain way. I'll link that here. I was used to looking a certain way with my straight hair. Like I look now, like I was just looking like more, I don't know, I was just more myself, and I felt more with straight hair. I felt more sexier and, you know, more appealing. And I can be honest with you, I still feel that way with straight hair. Like I feel more sexier with straight hair. It's a whole different turn up with straight hair. So with when I went afro natural, when I went transition to afro natural, it was a challenge because I did not look that way anymore. I think I started to look, to me, I was looking older. When I first transitioned to Afro natural, I felt that I looked older in the face just because the curls were tight. You know the saying, like when people just talk about curls and grannies and stuff like that, like the curls were tight, like I just looked older. And I loved the way Afro naturals looked with longer hair, and I just wanted to get to that point immediately. So it was a challenge for me at first, getting used to my Afro natural state. Once my hair started to grow out more, once it started to grow fuller, and once I started to kind of like feel in the moment and just embrace being an Afro natural, it felt good. And I think I still battle with those challenges because my hair isn't in an Afro natural state. It isn't as long as I want it to be. I really don't like to say that because, you know, we are African American women, and our roots, they didn't have straight hair. You know what I'm saying? So straight hair came from Europeans and like Native Americans and stuff like that. And so African American women, we are known for our Afro natural hair. And so I think the stigmatism of when younger girls see you know, these role models or celebrities, what have you, with straight hair, they're like, oh, I want that same look. And sometimes we kind of forget about where we came from. And so it's sad to say that I feel sexier with straight hair because it didn't come from my culture. Our culture, we should feel sexy with our Afro natural hair before feeling sexy with European straight hair, right? That is still of a challenge for me, but I trust me, I'm getting there. I'm getting there where I can just feel good, look good. And you can also learn, you know, different types of styles with Afro natural. You can learn to put your hair in a puff. You can learn like rod sets and different type of styles to help you feel more, you know, accepting of your Afro natural hair. So another tough and challenging thing that I had to learn was how to trim my own ends, right? That was so challenging. We don't want to cut off all of our hair. We don't want our hair to be uneven and stuff like that. So it was really challenging for me to learn how to trim, but I think I did a good job because my sister is actually a licensed barber and she had to go to, you know, school for it. So they learned how to trim and stuff like that. So she taught me a while back how to trim ends, and I think I kind of remembered the basics from when she taught me, and then also me going on my own and doing some research, watching videos and stuff like that. That helped me learn how to trim my ends on my own. And at first it was really challenging. I will, if I can link more than one video, I will. So if I can, it'll be here. If not, it'll be down there of the first time I trimmed my ends on camera. And that was really challenging, but as I started to do it more often, I was trimming my ends like once every 3 or 4 months. Sometimes I would do it like every 4 to 5, basically depending on where my hair was at. Like if I needed a trim or not, then I would wait a little bit longer. So I definitely watched a ton of videos. I definitely would recommend learning on your own. I would recommend probably to try, like if you have a doll head or one of those beauty heads where you can practice on, I would say to practice on those first. research and educate yourself as much as possible when you are learning how to trim, because you don't want to trim your ends uneven. You don't want to cut off all of your hair. You don't want to cut off too much hair. But if you feel more comfortable with going into the salon, some stylists do offer like a blow dry and trim, and that's it. That you don't have to, you know, get your hair straightened or anything, just blow dry and trim. Or you can get curly cuts. Curly cuts are really more of to reshape your hair or to shape your hair. So it all depends. But for me, I will not go to the salon to get my hair trimmed until it gets a certain length. And once it gets that certain length, then I will start to go get my hair professionally trimmed, probably once a year, and just do the trims on my own. Probably one of the most important aspects of growing out your natural hair is that you do have to keep up with your trims, because you do not want crazy split ends all over the place, because your hair will not grow at all. And if it does, it's gonna be looking all lopsided and stuff. And I didn't had that experience before a long time ago. So you definitely want to keep up with your trims for sure. I think that after a while, I started to get really confident and comfortable with learning more and doing my natural hair. At first, I was rocking wash and goes all the time, like every single week, back to back. And I will wash my hair every week. But after that, it kind of became tiring, especially in the winter months when I live in the Midwest. So it gets cold in the winter and I couldn't just go outside with wet hair. My blow dryer wasn't the best. My hair dryer wasn't the best. Diffuser, I don't like using the diffuser. So my hair dryer wasn't the best. And then it ended up going out. I just started to rock like Felicia braids. I just started that maybe about 4 or 5 months ago. Just started rocking Felicia braids every 2 weeks in between wash days. I will have my wash day, deep condition, you know, do all of that stuff, protein treatment if necessary, clarifying treatment if necessary, and then I would just detangle my hair very carefully. That is also that's a different video for another day. I'm not about to go into how you're supposed to take care of your hair, because this is not that type of video, but that's another video for another day. If you want that video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up or leave a comment. I started to rock Felicia braids. After my wash day, I would just put in maybe like 8 Felicia braids, and then I would keep that in for 2 weeks, but I would moisturize and seal my hair with oil once or twice every week in between those wash days while I had the braids in, and also my scalp as well. I also suffer from cerebral dermatitis, so that was another challenge because I had to learn my scalp. And so I had to visit my dermatologist, get medicated shampoos, but I really wasn't using the medicated shampoo because I honestly really didn't need it. The scalp care was more important, well, just as important, I should say, in between wash days. Just making sure it was moisturized was the most important part with treatment in between. As I Am, they do have a line, I will also link it below, for that caters to people with cerebral dermatitis that I use on the basis, and it's A1. Like, I don't experience any itching or any flakiness or anything like that when I use that product. When was the next time I would have straight hair? That was the question. And so originally, and I put it on like my vision board, I have it here off to the side, but originally I put it on my vision board. Actually, I'll grab it. So I put it on my vision board at the top of 2021. I don't even know if you could see this. Don't press hair until Thanksgiving. I did better than that because I actually waited until the next month, which is now in December, to get my hair pressed. You know, it feels amazing. So that was my goal. It wasn't really originally to wait for 2 years. I think I just wanted to see where the natural hair journey took me. And then at the top of 2021, I think I was like, I'll wait until Thanksgiving. So, you know, I try to do it around the cooler months because it's too hot to do it in the summertime, and this won't even last a day in the summertime. So I definitely had to do it during the cooler months. And a brief little story, my experience in the salon, it was interesting. You know, I originally wanted to go to another stylist who does amazing with just like my natural hairstyle. She does like 2-strand twists and stuff like that, and she's done my hair while I was on the natural hair journey. And she also does braids and natural hair. She's a natural hair stylist. So I originally wanted to go to her, but her books be like that. They go like that. So I missed out on her books. So I had to go with the person who straightened my hair on a regular basis before I went on my natural hair journey. She's good. She does a really good job. She's just not a natural hair stylist. She does natural hair, but I don't think that's her specialty. I really did not want to go to her, but she was like my only choice, and I really didn't trust anybody else. And I also know when I went to her, fingers crossed, knock on wood, this doesn't happen. But last time I went to her, my hair will always revert back easily. And, you know, like I said, fingers crossed, hopefully that's the same situation with this time. But excuse the sun, it's like beaming. Hopefully that's the same situation this time. That's why I went to her. So it was very interesting going into the salon. And I think I vlogged just a little bit of that, which you'll see in the next video. The next video is the vlog. I did go see her, and it was very interesting because I studied my hair for 2 years, and she barely knows me or my hair, and she probably really doesn't remember. She has so many clients, she probably doesn't remember my hair and its state and all of that stuff, because I've had cerebral dermatitis since 2016. And she asked me, like, so when did you develop a scalp condition? I'm like, in my head, I'm like, girl, I've been here. Well, what you talking about? I think it was very interesting just to see her, you know, style my hair and the things that she was suggesting. Like, she suggested a trim. I definitely don't need a trim because I trimmed my hair less than 2 months ago. And so she suggested a trim. She also told me my ends were dry. They're not, because they're always put up. They're always protected and they're always moisturized. So maybe they were dry that day, or maybe the blow dryer made them dry. I don't know. She suggested my ends were dry. She suggested not to do a deep conditioner and to do an apple cider vinegar treatment. In my head, I'm like, you know how many times I done tried an apple cider vinegar treatment? It don't work for cerebral dermatitis. And she said it makes your hair soft. That could be true, but it does not penetrate moisture. It does not condition your hair. So she tried to recommend all of that, and in my head I'm just like, you're wrong, you're wrong. It might work for somebody else, but you guys always have to remember, what works for somebody else does not always work for you. And I think stylists don't understand that. Like, people do not need to trim their ends every 3 months. That might be the case for Sally, but definitely isn't the case for Danielle. So, I mean, stylists don't understand it. I think that's something that they don't understand. So I think that I am good with being out of the salon, and next time that I do get my hair straightened, I am definitely going to the other stylist that is a specialist in natural hair, because she's also a natural. So I'm gonna go to her as well, and next time I get my hair straightened next year. Yeah, that was my salon experience. You know, I just studied my hair for 2 years every single day, and she was just doing my hair for 45 minutes. So, you know, she just was going off of what she's seeing at the moment versus what I've been dealing with every day for 2 years straight. What's next? What is next for this natural hair journey for me? I'm gonna stay on this journey. I'm gonna keep rocking Felicia braids whenever I feel lazy. I'm gonna get my natural hairstyles, twist styles, rod sets, what have you, and not have any direct heat unless it's a year or two in between. Of course, keep up with my trims and just make sure that I'm maintaining a healthy scalp so I can have healthy hair, flourishing hair. My husband has fun with it. I have fun with it. So it's all a good time with straight hair, and I just cannot wait to see what's next for me in my natural hair journey. So keep staying along, because it doesn't stop here. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that I was able to help you. I hope that you were able to get something out of this video, even if it was just something little bitty tiny thing. Don't forget to watch my next vlog, which will be coming very shortly. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that ring so you can get the notification when I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.